electronics from the most extreme wrestling, and this is your AEW Dynamite review for February 1st, 2020 from parts unknown. We weren't exactly told where the show was emanating from here tonight. It certainly didn't look like the Daily Place. It was a much more tightly enclosed building with AEW signs around the ring and some sparsely populated fans social distancing among themselves. Well, they weren't really fans per se, they were professional wrestlers, but they were there to encourage the action. Ringside, you have Cody Rhodes and Tony Schiavone getting everyone ready for the night. There's no pyro, there's no need. Oh, and Cody Rhodes has his dog with him, his dog Pharaoh. And the ring was so close to the entrance, it was absurd. When people would make their entrances, they only had to make a couple of steps to get there. It was extremely close. Now, they're letting us know that the TNT Championship, it's on its way. A new championship. I didn't know that we were getting a new one, but we're getting it, and apparently TNT is getting it. The tournament is going to start soon, but it's not going to be tonight. That's upcoming in the future. Lance Archer, however, tonight will make his debut in the ring, and right now we have Dasha Gonzalez doing the ring announcing. So Brandy no longer doing the ring announcing. We'll actually get to what Brandy is doing. She's doing something completely different these days. She had her little group with Karma, and that sucked, so they got rid of that. And she's kind of been bouncing back and forth, being like the backing lady for whatever group she's in. And yeah, we'll get to that in due time. But first, it is Trent, part of the Best Friends, along ringside with his best friend and with everyone's favorite Orange Cassidy, taking on Kenny Omega. He's one half of the tag team champions. So they're having a one-on-one match here tonight. They fight outside of the ring, and there was a point where I thought, I'm pretty sure the referee must be knocked out or something, because I don't hear any kind of counting. But no, the referee was out there. She could have counted to 50. And it was just like, why does AEW, whenever they feel like it, they just don't follow the rules? And I can't quite understand the reasoning for that. Why in this match of seemingly no consequences, would you structure it in a way where you would have to blatantly ignore the ref count? Maybe it's because they didn't have fans there to remind them that, hey, you should be counting, or whatever. It's just weird. I don't understand why AEW will follow the rules as far as referee in the match goes, but then they just don't. I mean, you got to have some credibility, and I think that takes away because it's just weird. It's just, am I the only one that notices? Because if I'm not the only one that notices, that means other people are also thinking that is quite bizarre. And that's a problem, right? I think it's a problem. I mean, what if the referee started counting to 2? And then they just won because they're like, I mean, forget the rules, right? I mean, what difference does it make? Count, no count, 2 count, 3 count, 10 count. I just don't get it. Anyways, Kenny Omega, he takes a hard bump from the top rope. He gets overhead, belly to back suplexed, I guess. It was hard to tell because Kenny Omega looked like he landed on his damn head, at least part of his shoulder. The referee was checking on him to make sure he was okay. It did look like he had a little bit of a mat burn on him, and I imagine he did because he skidded across that thing, potentially on his head, but he seems to be okay. But in that moment, I was concerned. I was like, holy crap, did they freaking killed Kenny? You killed Kenny. So, with 1 minute remaining in this match, Kenny Omega hits the one-winged angel One-winged angel. Easy to say. And he wins this match. Next up, we're shown a Shida promo package, a little video package reminding us of how cool Shida is, because they're really getting us ready for when Shida finally gets that one-on-one championship match in the future with Nyla Rose, whenever that might be. And I think that's totally fine. They went with Shida. I don't see anything wrong with her. I'm just very glad they have someone who is pretty good, got a good look, and they're sticking behind her, and they're building some kind of credible threat towards Nyla Rose. And I think that's great. After that, the promotion is not done, son. Shida is in a one-on-one match with a Georgia local, Anna Jay. I don't know who Anna Jay is, but apparently she's been working with QT Marshall and over there in the Atlanta area. She had a good look. She was a little bit thick, and that's okay. And she's in this match, and she actually looked pretty good. And I would say normally in a match like this, I would assume somebody like Shida, someone who they're trying to make look all powerful and strong, that they would kind of mow through them quite quickly. But with Shida and her matches that she's been having recently, she's had long matches. I remember on AEW Dark, she took on Cassandra Golden. And just like in this match, the match went for quite a while. It was quite a competitive match. It was quite the showcase, I guess you could say. Because not everybody needs to go in there and just completely destroy and squash people. You got to show some of your skills. You got to show some of what makes you special. If they're trying to build Shida as somebody that the fans can really get behind, they need to know her moves. They need to know her style. They need to know how she walks, how she acts, how she poses. They got to know what to get behind so they can cheer. So that's totally fine. But of course, you know Shida walked away with the victory. Anna Jay, I don't really like that name, the two Y's at the end. It's just like, why? Why? But like her look, she looks like a wrestler, and that's always a positive. Next up, Cody and Tony Schiavone, they are recapping Jon Moxley, what he's been doing recently as far as it pertains with Jake Hager. Moxley in this video package mentions that he's a one-man army. Sounds pretty generic, but that's what he said. And Hager, on the other hand, surprisingly to me, showing a lot of character himself. And he even mentions that he has ruthless aggression. And I'm thinking, AEW, they're always taking shots, aren't they? I mean, he does have ruthless aggression. And they put over the fact that Hager is quite intimidating, quite powerful, and he has legitimately in MMA made a lot of people tap. He's made a lot of people tap in wrestling as well, in professional wrestling, and he could do the same with Jon Moxley. I mean, how is Jon Moxley going to do? This crazy one-man army man going against a submission specialist. A big, tall, huge Jake Hager submission specialist. I like that. I like that idea. It puts some intrigue in there as to two conflicting styles going head to head. And it makes me think, I mean, what would be better? The hard-hitting, hardcore style? Or that submission, amateur wrestling background MMA dude? And a big hoss at that. So I'm interested as they develop themselves further. Boom Boom Colt Cabana in a plain as ever, just wearing some Hanes t-shirt, getting on commentary. Says hi to his mom, and very proud to be on TNT and very proud to be in front of the people. He always mentions how much, he's like, I'm a wrestler, I could wrestle. And I'm thinking, yeah, but you sound a little too good on commentary and doing these talking parts. With Colt Cabana, I just feel like he should be a commentator, or at least some kind of talking figure. I'm not necessarily against him wrestling, but all I'm saying is he's got a future in that. And he's got a great look. You know, you put a suit on that guy, I would listen to him talk. So, yeah, he's on here, back on commentary, and he will be commentating with Tony Schiavone during this next match. It is Marco Stunt going against a match debuting of Lance Archer. So, poor Marco Stunt having to be sacrificed as a lamb to the debuting Lance Archer. Jake the Snake Roberts, first off, gives a little promo, a little pre-recorded promo, and he doesn't acknowledge who's in the ring, which makes me think that they had absolutely no idea at the time for sure who Lance Archer would be competing against, which just made me laugh. The uncertainty of things, you know, it can be hilarious. Lance Archer, he's going in there against Marco Stunt. And Marco Stunt, he had to have been thinking, oh. And Lance Archer had to have been thinking, oh yeah, this is going to be easy. Just immediately clotheslines a grip, a guy pulling a cable. And I'm thinking, well, maybe it's just because there wasn't much of an entrance. There was no way for the cable puller to get out of the way. All the cable puller was trying to do was trying to make sure that that cable didn't trip you up. But you had to clothesline him. So, AEW, they're trying to make Lance Archer this big, scary, intimidating man who is debuting. He has a crazy man as his manager who's staying home, thankfully. And the first thing you see is him clothesline this guy. And I'm thinking, okay, that looks scary, that looks intimidating. But the wrestlers who are keeping their 6 feet of distance from each other laugh at this and, ridicule it. And I know that they're supposed to be ridiculing the cable puller guy, and those are bad guys who are laughing at him. But why are they being focused upon? I get it. If those were regular fans, it would be a different story. But you have wrestlers who have motivations as it pertains to matches they get in, championships, title opportunities, rankings, all these kind of things, right? The office politics, whatever. So why do we care about their reaction? Why are we seeing those reactions? We should be thinking how fucking intimidating Lance Archer is. But instead, I'm looking at these wrestlers thinking, why are they laughing? This isn't funny. This should be fucking scary. But they're not scared. They think it's hilarious that big, huge Lance Archer, you're a freaking monster that you're bringing into AEW. The reaction to him brutalizing an innocent man is laughter. No, that is the wrong response. Why would they portray it like this? I can't believe that these wrestlers thought that was a good idea. I don't think it's a good idea. Perhaps I'm wrong. Perhaps debuting a big scary monster and him attacking this cable puller should incite laughter. I don't get it. I just don't get it. But Lance Archer, he is brutalizing Marco Stunt. Now, Marco Stunt does get offense. I thought he was going to get nothing. I thought Marco Stunt would have just got killed in a couple of moves, but then I reminded myself, this is AEW. And they don't necessarily do that. They pretty much have longer matches, as we saw like with the Shida match. And Marco Stunt's an established guy, so he fights. Boy, he fights. He keeps getting up, keeps coming after him, but it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. And Lance Archer, he is torturing Marco. He ends up going for the chokeslam, but Marco Stunt backflip out of that chokeslam. And then Lance Archer puts the man down. Just beats him. And after this, he picks up Marco Stunt on the apron and chunks him into the crowd area. And that's going to make a great visual. And they almost missed Marco. I mean, he got chunked hard. He got hurled through the air. And I'm glad he got caught because, my goodness, that looked freaking scary. Lance Archer is one strong dude. I get it. Marco's small. But holy bejesus. There was even one point in the match where Lance Archer did a regular suplex. And Marco got ejected out of there. Like you hit the ejection in an F-18 or something, full blast. I mean, it was like, he was out of there. Okay. Next up, where are we at? Brody Lee the Exalted when we get a video of him. And he is talking with one of the Dark Order people. They're calling him 8 and 9 now, so I didn't know that they've adopted the Slipknot names. I don't know what's up with that. I think it's kind of stupid, but no one was going to remember their names anyway, so... You know what I'm thinking? Is this working? Is the Dark Order over? If you can't remember their names, probably not. And I get it. Some people do remember their names, but I sure didn't. But I probably can remember 8 and 9. Now, am I going to be able to tell which one is which? I don't know. I can remember Evil Uno because he has a different shape. So, he's a little more rotund. He's got a little bit of a different look. Where was I? Oh, Brody Lee, he is cutting this promo, and one of the guys, what was he doing? He was sitting there, and he was saying, "We are one." So he's like, "Why are you tired? There's no excuse for you to be tired. Tired is weakness." And then the other guy, he yawns, and he said, "Why do you yawn? Being tired is a weakness." And all this. I'm thinking, hold on. Is the Exalted One supposed to be Vince McMahon? Because he's in a boardroom. He's got on a suit. He's complaining about people yawning and being tired and there is no sleep and all this kind of stuff. So was that a joke? Was that a hot shot, a little low blow at WWE? I'm not even sure, but it sure seemed like it. Yes, 8 and 9 of the Dark Order. They are now going in a tag team match against the Natural Nightmares. That is QT Marshall or QT Marshall. We keep getting conflicting information. I don't know what the actual right one is. With Brandy, Brandy's got a new outfit for her new group because Brandy just keeps being put in all these groups, and I'm quite sure that this group is gonna be just fine. It's just gonna be just great. It's gonna be perfect. It's just gonna work. I just know this time, Brandy, it's gonna work for you. It's gonna work just fine. Oh my goodness, why did that burn so much? Anyways, 8 and 9, these guys, I don't know who they are. I probably should know which wrestlers they are, but they are green. They're in all black, but they're green. And at least I got Dustin Rhodes is in there. That's all I'm saying. Dustin Rhodes walks away with the victory. The Exalted One, he walks past Dustin as Dustin is making his 3 steps to the back. And Brody comes into the ring and then beats up the Dark Order guy. Okay, I don't know how that's going to work. Maybe he's just trying to eliminate all the members like I mentioned in my last video. Who knows? Maybe he's going to be not only the Exalted One, but the only one. Next up, Chris Jericho, he's at his home. He's cutting a promo. It's April Fool's Day, but he says that it actually is the elites that are the fools. And he calls Matt Hardy dumb ascus, whatever. And you started seeing that drone start flying in. Yes, indeed, it is a Vanguard 1 2.0. And Chris Jericho, he tries to apologize in his ever so believable way that he does. And he gives a gift to this drone. He has a little baby shirt with the Inner Circle logo and, is letting letting this drone know that he could join the inner circle and have his own drone. I mean, who doesn't want their own drone? I would take one. I mean, hey, if all I had to do was give a little baby drone shirt for the drone to wear, I mean, look, sometimes you need protection. A little shirt can't hurt anything. A little cotton protection, you know. And it's soft, too. Come on, and you can wear the coolest group in AEW's colors right on your robot chest. That would be great. Okay, so where were we? Tries to apologize, doesn't do that. He wants to, you know, make it official. He gives him the shirt. The drone is holding the shirt because luckily he has a little hook that he can put his shirt on with the little clothes hanger. And he wants to do a little bit of drone to elbow action. And he just isn't into that. He runs away. Listen to me. Vanguard 1, the drone flies away. And Chris Jericho does not like this. The old man starts screaming at the sky. He calls his dogs out. He says, like, release the hounds! Which he has these little soft dogs. So a lot of comedy in this angle, which I've heard a lot of backlash throughout the internet of people not liking the silliness of last week and Matt Hardy coming down the aisle in a jump cut on a supposedly live show, which is just weird. And why would you do things like this? But that's what they did. Anyways, the Young Bucks, we see a little video of them where they're practicing in a ring. And they're on their own tennis court. And they're kind of going over how they feel about things and recovery and all this. So I like these kind of videos, doing something different where you're not just being interviewed or you're not just sitting at the same old set doing the same old thing. Yeah, we're looking at you, WWE. Next up, it's Shawn Spears and Sammy Guevara taking on Cody and Darby Allin. This is the main event of the night. Oh, yes. And, of course, these guys going to be having some good matches. People love Darby Allin. You wouldn't know it from the crowd, but they certainly do. And Cody, Shawn Spears, Sammy Guevara, all of these guys. I mean, no wonder that was the main event, right? Brandy catches Cody's belt again, so there they go with that comedy. Sometimes AEW just has too many little jokes. I mean, she caught the belt, and then she's like, yeah! Like she's a fan. I don't know. That just seems weird. Why would they do that? But they do it. Odd. Anyways, Cody, he gets beat up by the crowd. He gets thrown in the crowd, and the same people that were laughing at Lance Archer are now beating up Cody. So these fans, man, they're freaking bipolar. Go from being so jovial to being so violent. My goodness. Darby climbs up a pole, not to get paid, but he does the coffin drop off of it onto dudes. And Shawn goes for a chair because he is the chairman here in AEW. Darby Allin gets the chair and he gets by the rope trying to, I believe, get rid of it. But he gets distracted. And he gets rolled up and pinned and beat. And that freaking sucks. Darby ends up decking Cody Rhodes. So that was unexpected. I thought these guys were cool. I thought that they were good. But in a few weeks, perhaps next week, I believe that tournament may be starting, that for the TNT Championship, this mid-card title that they're adding to AEW, and Darby Allin and Cody Rhodes are going to be on there. They're going to be competing to become that champion. So no love lost. I guess Darby Allin was just pissed that Cody wasn't there for him, or he was just letting him know that, hey, I mean, you've been cool with me and all, but yeah, I'm going to psych you out and I'm going to beat you and I'm going to become the TNT champion. I could see it. Cody doesn't need it. And if it's the championship that I saw online, it looked pretty much like the regular championship, which I didn't understand why it wasn't different. But, you know, things are the way they are sometimes. So next week, those guys going to fight in a tournament. and AEW will continue. Gonna go on with these storylines and gonna see what happens. So I guess because they can't get the actual AEW champion on AEW, they're going ahead and introducing this title so they can have some title action going on. Who knows what the actual reasoning for that is, but that was AEW, and I will catch you guys next time.